Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, August 18th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your decision-making process as a trader, or maybe you're just new wanting to learn more about technical analysis as a trading tool and how to use it to build consistency and make good decisions, then this will be a video for you. And then real quick before I get started, just keep in the back of your mind that as I go through the content, if you're enjoying what you see, you want to learn more about the tool of technical analysis, then I want to personally invite you to this free live class that I'm offering this Thursday. So like I said, if you're interested in getting signed up and you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, claytrader.com, there's an area on the screen that you can click. So like I said, just keep that in the back of your mind, and if you like what you're hearing, you want to learn more, then get signed up for the class. First stock here, ticker symbol VRPX. Absolutely crazy, fantastic day. I mean, volume gigantic, price reacted very nicely, and then at the end of the day, putting in a nice, good old-fashioned pattern that a lot of people have noticed. And I make that comment about a lot of people because when there are lots of people watching the same patterns, wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can definitely produce some very dynamic movements. And that's what we have here. So the first part of this pattern is just the support portion where you can notice that several times today the price got down here right around, we'll give, call it 1250 give or take, but several times price got down around that area. And to give credit where credit's due, the bulls held strong, buyer stepped in, so that is why that would be known as the support portion of the pattern. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, that is where this trend line here would come into play. So that is very clearly, an area that's showing that a little bit of selling pressure showed up. And I don't mean that in a bad sense, just in the sense of, yeah, it hasn't been able to quite, make any sort of further progress. But then just to put in this overall pattern here, so let me just draw it kind of very crudely like this. And then for you golfers out there, put the hole down there. So this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So that's really the easiest way to illustrate this. We are looking at the 30-minute time frame here, meaning each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So in other words, the best way to summarize this would be 30-minute time frame, bull pennant pattern, and not just a question of moving forward. Can the bulls get another nice surge that ultimately leads to a technical breakout? We'll see what happens with it on Wednesday. Next one here, AMC, and a case of deja vu in a very bullish sense. The uptrend continues, so I know I've been saying higher highs and higher lows, but after today, another day of saying higher highs and higher lows, and just want to get kind of a new area in here to monitor, just because I think this is, definitely the trend line here that's illustrating the fact that ever since, back there on August 11th, all it's been doing is trending upwards. And I realize it's one thing to say trending upwards, but that's the nice thing about technical analysis and charts is they allow you to, take phrases, take words, and make them very visual. So when people say, yeah, AMC keeps making progress, it keeps trending, what do they mean? Well, right here, look at this trend line. Moral of the story is this: as long as the price stays above that green line, then as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing to worry about. The bulls are in full control of this current movement, which means that there can be pullback. So I get it. At one point, the price was up here. Now it's come down to that area. At one point, the price was up there and come down and so on and so forth. But the point being that each of these pullbacks have remained above that green line. So like I said, from a very simplistic point of view, which is oftentimes the best way to look at all this, as long as the price stays above that green line, the bulls are in full control, the chart's in full health. How you can best visualize that. And then in terms of current areas of resistance, main level to watch right now going to be right up there at 38.50. But all in all, the uptrend continues. Next one here, ticker symbol SESN, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video previously, but I talked about how, yeah, the price pulled back, but it was doing a great job of holding above that green line right there, which illustrated, the fact that it still had a chance to, build a higher base, and you can see that ultimately that led to some more progress today. Opening 30 minutes right there, it made a nice move up. And still, it's not like the price exploded upwards or anything like that, but it is making progress still. And the best way to, again, for me to say progress is one thing, but to make it very visual. So this green line here has illustrated the fact that that's as low as it's gone. And you look at the previous, area where it went low, and of course that was back there on the very dramatic period on Friday. But point being, if you envision these as stair steps, you do still have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. So the progress is still there, and that doesn't mean that the price can't all of a sudden go down again. But the point being is it's a rational thought to still be feeling a little bit bullish in terms of, all right, yeah, this thing has continued to make progress. And if it's going to build any sort of more power, then in my mind, that first key breakout point right now going to be at the $1.67 mark. And then after that, right up there at about $2.10. So keep an eye on those couple of areas of resistance moving forward. But all in all, another day of progress. Next one here, ticker symbol NAOV, and almost a case of deja vu because this is now the third day in a row where things are not looking that solid. You go back to Friday, things were not looking that solid, big pullback. You go back to yesterday on Monday, things were not looking that solid, big pullback here. And then you look at today, things are not looking so solid at all. There's been a big pullback to the downside. But like I said, what makes this very interesting is the past couple of times it was looking like it was over. Oh, up it went. And then this morning, oh, up it went. So that leads to, again, not a guaranteed, but a valid, a rational question of, hey, is this going to repeat itself? Is the price just going to head back upwards? And that's the power of charts. They're not guaranteeing anything because nothing's going to tell you the future. But is it at least a valid? Is it at least a rational thought that maybe this pullback is going to result into some sort of turnaround? Yeah, absolutely. Why? Well, because it's already happened 2 times before. So that doesn't mean that it's for sure going to happen again, but by no means is it a random thought to think that it could play out. So that's really the big question mark moving forward. Is history going to repeat itself? Is there going to be some sort of movement back to the upside? And if there is, that key level of resistance on any sort of attempted movement going to be right there at 335. But yeah, can history repeat itself once again? We'll see what happens with it on Wednesday. Next one here, ticker symbol AMD. And in my mind, there's just, after today, 2 very, very well-defined areas. And as I talked about in the first one, when a lot of people are watching the same areas, one or the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can certainly produce very dynamic movements. And the first level here that a whole lot of people are going to be watching, and rightfully so, is going to be right at this general area here at the 108 mark. So 108, one of those areas where it's valid to think that if the price can continue up, which, makes sense because right now you can see that there's been an overall trend, little miniature drift all day long. But if that continues and can break up through that level, then that break in and of itself could very well create good, solid upside buying pressure. Not guaranteed again, but certainly a valid thought to have. So keep an eye on 108 as that main area of resistance. And then as far as areas of support are concerned, and the level that I think a lot of shorts will be watching very closely, and rightfully so, going to be right down here around the 105.50 mark. So nothing guaranteed, but from a shorts point of view, if the price were to come down here and break through that level, that break in and of itself, like I said, logically could create that much more selling pressure and then potentially a good trade from the short side. But moral of the story here is really the 2 main levels here moving forward, the 108 mark from the resistance area, 105 area from the support side of things. Next one here, ticker symbol ALF, and I realize I'm stating the obvious here, but to set up some context, huge volume came pouring in late morning and then for the rest of the day, and then, the price reacted very nicely with it, which sets up a very interesting pattern here as we head into Wednesday. And the pattern just revolves around the fact that, that key breakout point going to be right up there at $10.20. So all eyes going to be on 10.20 as far as a resistance breakout point. And then as far as supports are concerned, the level here that stands out going to be right there around, that trend line, which I'll change to green to represent more of a bullish attribute. And then and this should look familiar, assuming you're paying attention in the other, stocks that I did. But if I draw that part there, and we'll just make it all white to try to keep it a little bit easier, and then put the golf hole down there, we have ourselves another very nice bull pennant pattern. What's interesting about this bull pennant is that it spent essentially the entire afternoon working its way upwards. So it's sitting right there near the breakout area. Again, does that mean that it's going to break out? No, absolutely not. No guarantees. Is it at least valid to think that the price could be getting ready to break to the upside? Well, absolutely it is, because the price didn't close that far away from breaking out, near the end of the day. But point here being ALF, very nice bull pennant pattern. So now moving forward, just a question of can this get continuation, more momentum? Let's see how it plays out. Next one here, down in the world of penny stocks, ticker symbol RGBP. And after a very, very rough start, when you think about the fact, not only was it pretty rough on Monday afternoon, but then all of a sudden the price gapped down and the price opened up all the way here, only to come through and make a very nice move back to the upside. Now, granted, the price has pulled back here a little bit, but point here being, relatively speaking, from where the price started, it made a very impressive recovery. So now it's just a question of, can this recovery continue, or, probably more accurately said, this pullback right here, is this a healthy pullback? Is this just a good old-fashioned consolidation that's going to, ultimately turn out to be very healthy? Or is this maybe just the start of something much bigger where the price continues to roll over, which is why risk management stop losses are so important. But the overall dynamic here is that from a volume analysis standpoint, when the volume came pouring in, the price shot upwards. And then when the volume decided to chill out right there, you can see the price pulled back here. And as anybody will tell you, as far as a volume analysis standpoint, that's what you want to see. Big volume on the upwards movements, smaller volume on any sort of pullback or consolidation movements. So that's what's happened here. So it does not guarantee that it's going to return back upwards. But my core point here is that as of now, from a volume perspective, good, healthy consolidation, not just a question of can the price make another move to the upside, with that main area of resistance being right up there at 0.028. Next one here, ticker symbol ARPO. And what I like about this one is that it's shown quite a bit of strength today, obviously with the huge move up. But it's certainly eliminated the whole worry of, all right, am I buying the top? Am I chasing? Am I suffering from FOMO, the fear of missing out right now? And absolutely not. So while this doesn't guarantee that, it's going to be a profitable trade, as far as the worry of, am I chasing the price? Am I buying too high? Well, no, because this thing has now gone through a pretty big pullback. but the pullback is still up above key areas. So it's not like I would not call this a reversal. In my opinion, that's not the right terminology. Now, if the price continues to drop, well, then yeah, it would make sense at that point to start to call this a reversal. But as of right now, in my mind, it's looking like it's just simply a pullback here. And a level that's very interesting here is this former breakout point right down there around $2.25. So again, while nothing is guaranteed, to think that it could come down to right around 225, consolidate out, and then maybe turn itself back around is a more than valid thought, as that would just be a good, healthy pullback with then, a return of the trend back to the upside. So 225 seems like an interesting area to me. And then as far as if the price does try to continue back up, main area of resistance can be right up there around $2.55. But overall, good movement today, good volume. Sure, it's pulling back, but hey, if it's a healthy pullback, then this could, is worth at least considering as a potential pullback opportunity. Next one here, ticker symbol PLUG. And the fascinating, well, I guess twofold in terms of the fascinating thing is, first off, the price came down here on Monday, bounced right up from it. Then almost a case of deja vu. Came back down here Tuesday morning, bounced back up from it. But the difference here, and what is making me wonder, is this the start of something much bigger, is the fact that the price has now been able to break up through that area right there. So from a miniature trend line and resistance point of view, a breakout has happened. Now, this may not mean anything, but again, going back to the whole no guarantees, but is it at least a valid? Is it at least a rational thought process to have? It is 100% rational to now begin to wonder, hey, it's broken out. Is this the start of something bigger? Is there going to be more momentum that shows up that this thing's moving to the upside? Maybe not. Maybe it decides to roll back over. Again, that's why risk management is so important. But the point here being is it's basically had the double bottom. So good old-fashioned double bottom pattern right there. It's had enough strength to bounce up. But the nice kind of cherry on top of the strength is also had enough strength to now break up through that area of resistance. So is this a start of a bigger move to the upside? We'll see what happens. It's certainly worth monitoring over the next couple of days. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA, good old Tesla here. And I mean, the downwards pressure continues. Pretty crazy to think that not that long ago, this thing was up around $725, and now it's all the way down here. It got as low as basically $650 today. Now, to be fair, yeah, it showed some strength. Don't get me wrong. Late day did show some signs of strength, but from just a bearish or from a pattern perspective. So if I just draw this very cruelly, this would be known as a bear flag pattern. But again, just because something's bearish doesn't mean that for sure guaranteed the price is going to go down, back downwards. But my core point here is, yeah, it's acting strong, but I'd be very cautious in the sense of saying, hey, this is the reversal. Again, it's bouncing, sure. Could this turn into a reversal? Absolutely. But in my opinion, to call this a reversal right now, a little too premature, because this is happening within a context of a lot of downwards pressure. So I don't think anybody would be shocked to see the price then break back to the downside of that bear flag pattern. But as always, to be fair and give credit where credit's due, maybe this is the start of something. Maybe this will go, back to the upside. So if anybody's looking to play it short or anything, just like playing things long, you got to be good at risk management. Same with that, because if this is the start of a bigger move to the upside, you're going to want to keep an eye on that. But yeah, like I said, good afternoon for sure, but there sure is a whole lot of downwards pressure right now on it. So I'd be very careful in calling this any sort of reversal in terms of, price movement. A bounce, absolutely. Can bounces turn into reversals? Sure, but right now I would just still call this a bounce. I wouldn't go as far as calling it a reversal. And as far as main areas of support are concerned, right there at 652 going to be an area that seems to be quite important. But we'll see if this bounce can continue or not headed into the next couple of days. So that wraps up the top 10. And again, just want to personally invite you, if you did like what you saw and you can start to see the value, or at least maybe want to consider more of the value that technical analysis brings to building confidence, building consistency as a trader, then want to invite you to the class. Like I said, it'll be this Thursday, August 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So just keep that in mind. But if you're interested in learning about why charts work, how they should be used, how they should not be used, and just why they're a good practical tool to help make rational, good decisions as traders, then I'll talk about that and more. So get signed up for the class. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you want me to keep making videos like this, then please communicate that to me by hitting the like button and leaving a basic comment below, even if it's just a smiley face or saying hi. But those two things communicate to me that taking the time and putting in the effort to make these videos is worth it. And as long as I know that you're enjoying and that it's worth the time and effort, then I'll continue to make them. And like I said, the quick, easy way to communicate that to me, hit the like button and then leave a basic comment down below. And again, if you're interested in learning more about the tool of technical analysis, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Everybody, thank you for hanging out, and hopefully you had a good one.